laptop does something weird all the time, and I never know when I'm live. Okay, I think I'm live now. Um, I was scrolling on the Isolife app, and I came across this really super cool article about why isogenics is not a fad diet. And I'm going to post it here in the Team Builder page, but it occurred to me this thought of objection busting. And hi, Sammy C. Um, and so I wanted to just jump in real quickly and talk a little bit about objection busting. Sammy C and Erica actually posted, we have a thread going about the most common objections that we all get, and we all kind of get the same 5, 6, 7 objections, right? Um, and then we started a second thread where we all kind of talked about are um, how we are objection busting, or the scripts, or what we say to people. But I remember hearing this kind of early on, and I wanted to pass it on to everybody, that we should be objection busting all the time. We should be objection busting in our Instagram stories, our Facebook stories, in our posts, and not like a real in your face, like, oh, you know this, you know this, you know this. It should be a part of the natural fabric of our conversations and our dialogue. And so one thing that I had kind of thought about was what we could do is, as a reminder, like, we don't sell anything. We're just educating, which is part of what objection busting is. Even myself, I didn't know the actual true definition of pyramid scheme until, about a year ago, when I was looking more into joining a network marketing company and really understanding what a pyramid scheme was. Which, quick FYI, a pyramid scheme is when you give money but you receive no goods or services in return. And so typically those are the kinds of, like, we see those blessings, what do you call it, those blessings things or whatnot. And it's great if you have made money off of that, but that's like super sketch, because you throw your money out there with the hope that you fill up your pyramid or your triangle or whatever they call it, so that you get paid out. But if nobody comes in after you, you just thrown in your money, and the people above you have gotten paid, but you haven't gotten paid, right? So, anyways, so yes. So what we should be doing is maybe making a list of our common objections, and then every day or every other day, pick a couple topics, schedule out your social media stories or your posts, and then start educating people. Educate on what network marketing is. Give statistics. What is the average income? You know, how many women are successful in network marketing, because it is something that creates an even playing field, whether you have college education, whether you have work experience, your gender, your age, your race. It's a much more even playing field. So talk about those things in your voice, in your language. um, Talk about our comp plan. Maybe not necessarily giving the presentation, but if you wanted to, you could talk about, like, a binary comp plan versus a tiered comp plan. Some multi-level marketing maybe require you to achieve X rank. Maybe it require you to rank up X amount of people before you can rank up versus just enrolling people. Um, Talk about your products, and not just in a sense of our selfies or boomerangs, which are great, but like, what's in that shake that you're mixing up every day? Is there 24 grams of undenatured protein? Is there 26 trace vitamins and minerals? Um, it helps, and if you are comfortable, talk in your stories, get your face out there, and start really showing people who you are. Those are just a couple of things that we can objection bust when we are considering or planning out our sip-in samples, our virtual sip-in samples, our virtual presentations. We should also be thinking about those objection busting and sliding them in there. So talk about, yeah, you know what? You're investing, you're buying 56 meals at one shot. It's going to cost X amount of dollars. Imagine if you sat down and planned out, you know, 3 meals a day times 30 days, 90 meals. How much would that cost you if you went to Costco once a month? put those kind of words into your presentation so that the people you're talking to realize that, you know what, that's right. It's going to cost me $175, but I have just taken care of breakfast and lunch for the entire month. You know, throw those things in there already as part of your presentation, right? Like, I know it's a little bit different now with COVID, but an average plate lunch is like $10 now. So if your brother, if your husband, if your sister, your friends that you're talking to, or if they're still working right now, if they're construction workers, if they're going to the food trucks and they're spending $8, $9, $10 5 days a week, throw that out there. You've just spent $50 on one meal for 1 week. Uh, and so those are the kind of things that as we prepare. 1 second, I'm almost done. Okay, go ahead. When we put that into our conversations, when we start it, then now we're educating and we're helping people to kind of get over these blocks that they don't realize they have. So then when you actually start that one-on-one conversation, when you actually start sending them the videos or sending them the links, you've already worked on half of the objections, maybe more than that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm going to post the article about the fad diet because that's another super good thing to talk about, because we all get that too, like, oh, that's a fad diet or whatnot. And we know that it's not a fad diet, right? Isogenics is a lifestyle, and we want people to find products that they can seriously see themselves using every single day till forever. And so I'm going to post that. But think about the objections that you get. Think about what you're comfortable talking about. Are you comfortable talking about the money? Are you comfortable talking about the products? Are you comfortable talking about the industry? Because you have to objection bust yourself first before you can get out there and start objection busting for other people. And like I said, we are just purely educating. And it might be stuff outside of isogenics. It might be stuff outside of our product line. We just got Zija. What do we know about it? Zija's main superstar is the moringa plant. What do you guys know about the moringa plant? I don't know a whole ton about it, just a little bit about what Dr. Plant mentioned. And so that's on my list this week, is like, I am going to become a moringa plant expert. Not that any of us have to be an expert. I just want to know so that it's part of my wheelhouse. So when people are like, what's the Zija stuff? I'll be like, oh, have you heard of the moringa plant? And then, just little things. And if that's what your comfort level is, then perfect. You know, if your comfort level is cleansing, like we have some people who are amazing cleansers. I love seeing their cleanses every day. Like Sammy sees bottles. I want to get all those bottles. I feel like I would be a more successful cleanser if I had those bottles. But talk about those kind of things. Talk about why they're better for our body, why we want to detox as part of our daily conversations. Or Wednesdays we see it and it's great. Everybody starts talking about the cleansing. But make that part of your conversation. Make that part of who you are, so that it's not weird. It's not a defensive conversation. You're not selling when you're talking to people. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that and it was useful. And I will talk to you guys later.